What's up, Punters Pod listeners? You can listen to us every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or even watch us on YouTube. Now, let's get into the show. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Punters Pod.
What a time to be alive! The final siren has went off. The 2025 season is done. From early March to late September, we have had a lot of fun. 216 games total, where 18 teams had a run, and in the end, it was the Brisbane Lions who ultimately won. Jezza, how are you, my friend, for the last time this season?
I would have said got it done to end that rhyme there, but
I started the rhyme with done, so you can't really end it with what you started, but it's okay.
Yeah, all right. So hopefully over the off-season, the rhyming capabilities improve a little bit.
I think I've ended the season strong.
Yeah,
I've done the
was pretty good.
I've done the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah.
I've ended strong.
Anyway, last week of the pod. Final pod episode for the 2025 season.
That's it. Can't believe another year is done and dusted.
I know. It took me back a bit. I was actually thinking about it the other day. The first year we did the podcast, how lucky did we get that the first year we start a podcast, our team ends up winning the grand final?
We were much happier to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was a lot more excited to do the grand final review.
This one was a bit like,
season.
grand final review. But if we are here, boys, because we made a commitment to the boys, Jez, that we will do an episode after the grand final. So here we are. And on this episode today, we will get into, obviously, our grand final reaction and reviews, an overall season wrap up, betting results from the big grand final day, which weren't so great for me and Jez, and a final sign off until next year from us over here at the Punters Pod. But first, Jez, for the last time this season, who is the random player above me in the Melbourne Guernsey from the 1990s?
You know who it really looks like, but it's not him.
Who is that?
It really, really, really looks like a young Chris Fagan, but I know it's not Chris Fagan because he never played footy.
So who is your guess for the player?
Bro, it's like a very, very old Melbourne Guernsey, but I feel like you're trying to fuck me up and it's not a Melbourne Guernsey. It's like a...
It's Melbourne. I'll give you that. It's a Melbourne Guernsey.
But it's not... It's like a VFA jersey or some shit like that.
It's Chris Fagan. He was on the list. You were right there. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he looks exactly the same.
Yep. So Fags, who was on the Melbourne list, is the random player. He's a 2-time premiership coach. And I love Fags. I'm much happier he won it than Chris got.
Same as me, but...
Look, we were both off the mark. We both said Geelong. I said Geelong 40 plus. You said Geelong minus 12.5.
It was just one of those things where it was like no doubt in my mind. Everything was pointing that way. I was going to say it in... I never lose hope, of course you were. But I was going to say it in last week's pod and a couple other pods that everyone keeps bringing up how good Geelong's record is in finals, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They make the finals so often, this and that. In the last 10 years, like, what do they really have to show for making the finals over and over again? Like,
premiership.
2022.
Yes. 2022 is a premiership.
And then 2011.
Yeah, 2011 is more than 10 years
not
ago.
Not even in the last, exactly, more than 10 years ago. So, like, for this team who's made it 14 times and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
They are a good team. And we were riding their coattails last week, so we can't jump off them.
They do choke a fair amount.
Yeah, they do. And this was my argument, I think it was last year, about Chris Scott not being in the same tier as a Clarko and the Dimmer Hardwick. But because he's only won the one real premiership, because 2011... You could have put me there and we would have coached a premiership. You could have had 500 coaches who would have won that premiership. But he was lucky enough to get the position. He's obviously a good coach. He's obviously got his own premiership. But I think he is a bit overrated. Like, even you made me cringe, Jez, when coming into that qualifying final.
Nah, sorry, I believe that, though.
That he's the best tactical mind.
No, I never said that once. I said that if you give him 2 weeks to plan for a team, he'll...
Well, he had 4 weeks to plan for Brisbane a second time.
Such a bullshit.
He had the 2 weeks.
That's a bullshit statement.
He had the 2 weeks.
What, 2 weeks?
Yeah, the 2 weeks prior to the qualifying final. Then he had another 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. He took him apart that 2 weeks that he had. He did not have 2 weeks this time. What do you mean? There's 1 week between the prelim and the grand final.
But I'm pretty sure he would have planned for both Collingwood and Brisbane.
While he's planning for Hawthorn as well.
Yeah, probably not. Okay. Well, let's get into that game, Jay. Let's get into the grand final. Honestly, at the start of the day, when I was at my mate's house, probably a bit intoxicated, a few beers deep, I saw Lachie Neale as the sub, and I felt like that would be a big, big fuck up. And I felt very, very strongly about Geelong 40 plus. I think
agree.
my bank account and my betting accounts very much represented my faith in Lachie Neale being a mistake.
Oh, 100% agree too. As soon as I saw that, I felt like very, very good about my bets on Geelong.
Yeah, I put some more money on Geelong 40 plus.
I know this is meant to be grand final preview, and we're meant to be G'ing up the grand final review, and we're meant to be G'ing up the grand final. But fuck when your team loses in the prelim, and
so empty.
A lot of fans will reciprocate this with me, and they'll understand what I'm talking about. But when your team loses in the prelim, you could not give a fuck less about I seriously, I'll be 100% honest with you. I could not care less about the grand final. Like, I was excited to go to my mate's house, grand final party, have a barbie, spend time with friends, drink, have the game on in the background. As soon as the game started, I could not give a shit. And I was checking in and out, but it was and
I was worried about my punts. Honestly,
I was worried about my punts.
That was me.
At halftime, it was a draw, but it didn't feel like.
Nah, it wasn't like that. Yeah, it was.
It wasn't electric. It was not electric.
It was a tight contest, but it's it wasn't. Maybe that's because our team lost the prelim. But
I think so.
Because you know what? Last year's grand final, I was amped up for it because the Pies did make the 8.
Exactly.
So you got more time to
think about it.
Yeah, to grand final. It's going to be a good game. I hope it's a good game.
When your team doesn't make finals, then you jump on a team and you're riding them.
You're invested in the finals. Yeah. And it's we obviously lost to Brisbane, so we weren't thrilled about Brisbane winning the flag, and we aren't the biggest Geelong supporters in the world. I've got something a bit later on about how much I hate Geelong, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then when the game starts and Dangerfield goes down to the rooms like he does every fucking game, that just made me despise the game even more.
Yeah. Do we get into a little bit of the bets, or do you just want to talk more generally about the game? Because the game, to me, second half was a blur. Obvious reasons.
Yeah, same. I was a bit
pretty...
like you said before, I want to talk a bit more about the game. Like you said before, it's kind of crazy how every single thing at halftime was disposals, kicks, hand passes, everything, clearances were dead equal, but it just didn't have that feeling of an all-time classic game.
Well, to start the game, because that's when I was really invested in it, because I actually thought my bets had a chance of getting up.
Jesus.
Geelong looked really, really good at the start of the game. But they did. And Brisbane, they weren't putting it on the
Zach
scoreboard.
Bailey looked good.
No, but Geelong looked fucking switched on at the start of the game. Brisbane are really fumbly. They were turning the ball over, shit like that. This is first 10 minutes of the game, I'm saying. But they just never put it on the actual scoreboard. No. I don't know what they got out to, but maybe a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, it wasn't big.
It was not big at all.
The free kick count was big in Geelong's favour. That's
Geelong
crazy.
got rimmed
that is
so bad.
Crazy. I can't believe in a grand final, I'm not even the biggest supporter of every single game, the free kicks have to be close to each other. I don't believe they have to be equal. But there's no chance that the high free kicks or the holding the ball free kicks, there's no chance Brisbane were fucking up that much where the differential in free kicks was supposed to be 13. That was wild to me. Then in the second half when Brisbane start destroying them, they evened it up a little bit.
It's the most obvious thing in the world.
But after halftime, Brisbane obviously come out.
But I'm checking right now. It wasn't even until the 19-minute mark of the third quarter, because it was a tie at the 19-minute mark of the third quarter. Zach Bailey kicks it behind to put them up by a point.
But then they dominated. It came quick, but
Cameron goal, Neil goal, Cameron goal. Charlie Cameron. I really thought Charlie Cameron was going to win the Norm Smith.
I was adamant on it, and we'll get into the Norm Smith soon because I don't know about the Norm Smith this year, but I was just adamant that Cameron is the one that has lifted them here. When the game was in the balance, I know everyone likes to say now, he did his damage late. McCluggage did. I admit McCluggage did. But I really thought Cameron was the one there.
He did. When the game was in the balance, he kicked 3 goals to end the third quarter.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah,
And then Jezza Cameron's arm breaks, and that was just a nail in the coffin for Geelong. But, look, bar the 2023 grand final, we've had a bad 7 or 8 grand finals. And it is very anticlimactic. Even in this final series, the 2 prelims, 5 goals or more.
Yeah.
30-point margin or more. Then the grand final is a 40-something point margin. The final series as a whole was a bit underwhelming.
You're not expecting games to like. It should never be a thing where you're expecting all these finals to be close or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like the AFL is such a momentum game, and when a team gets hold of momentum, like Brisbane did at the end of that third quarter, it's like almost impossible to stop. And maybe that is through the influence of the 6-6-6 rule or something like that. But I feel like at the moment, like, once a team gets on a roll, they can really, really put the foot down and really get on a roll. And we saw it
every final.
But yeah, we saw it in every final where like match would be close, it'd be tight up until 3/4 time, and then there'd be a crack in the game, like in the Collingwood versus Adelaide first final. It was like crack in the game, 3 goals quickly scored in the third quarter, and then the game's pretty much put to bed. And it's like hard to wrestle back momentum and get back in the game for the other team. I don't know, there isn't really anything, because during the season it's like this too. Like in a round when you have fucking 9 games, it's like you're gonna get 2 that are crackers and then the rest that are really bad. So you can't really do anything about it. But we have had like really lackluster, poor grand finals where in the last quarter you know who's won the game and it's boring.
Yeah,
really.
That's it. But yeah, I don't know. That was the grand final. Brisbane Premiers back to back. And the grand final might have been the last daytime grand final, which I hate, Jez, because if I hear one more person say Snoop Dogg would have been better if the game was at nighttime, I'll spew up. The AFL will eventually make this change, but they should not move the grand final from daytime. They have to think about what people want. Every footy fan is not attending the grand final is most likely doing what we did, having a barbecue and some drinks with their mates. We all make a whole day out of this while the footy is on. Moving the granny to a nighttime game would ruin this, all for the pre-game entertainment that nobody gives a fuck about, that everybody will forget in a month's time that Snoop Dogg performed at the grand final. Give the people what they want. Let them have their barbecues and not have a whole day waiting for the game to start. Keep the grand final in the daytime.
I completely disagree.
For me, it was
like, does it really matter that much?
Yes, because
I'm sorry. You are such an old man.
It's not an old man. No, it's not an old man. It was me as a 22-year-old man who was sitting there at his mate's house before lunchtime, thinking, "How good is this?" The whole day.
Yeah, and you can't do that if it's a Twilight grand final.
It makes it so much better basing it around.
Does it?
Basing it around the game.
Does it?
Yeah,
So
it does.
instead of cooking your sausages at fucking 2 o'clock, you cook your sausages at 4 o'clock. Like, come on.
I'm still daytime.
And you change it into a nighttime.
So what's the point of the nighttime? Just so fucking Snoop Dogg Twilight, I'm alright. I'm alright,
yeah,
Twilight. But if I've got to wait till 7:40, I will hate it.
But why would that matter? I think that they're going to move to Twilight, and I think Twilight's
alright.
You know what? The first year that they announce it, everyone will have a fucking cry because of that stupid excuse.
How's that an excuse?
And then after
but
that,
what's the reason they're changing it? For fucking Snoop Dogg to look better?
No, it is a better spectacle.
Do you really give a fuck?
It is a better.
Yeah, bro. Because you care. Because you're gonna remember next year.
What's the crowd sizes in a normal round of footy on a 1 p.m. game on a Saturday?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Because it's grand final day. They still sell it out.
But why do you think the prime time slots are Friday night?
It's not a day,
Thursday
but nobody
night?
has a day off on a normal Saturday. It is the grand final. They'll sell it out, so that doesn't fucking matter.
So
then everyone else watching it at home, which is the majority of people, enjoy the day more when the grand final.
But you won't enjoy it if it gets pushed back by 2 hours.
2 hours, fair enough.
to
But my
4:40.
debate's not. I don't want nighttime.
Okay, if it gets pushed back 4 hours. So instead of rocking up to your mate's house at lunchtime, you rock up to your mate's house at 2 in the afternoon.
I don't like it. You don't make the whole day out of it then. I like daytime.
But then you make the
grand
day
final.
and the night. I think it's such a stupid thing. I
Fair
think
enough.
who really gives a shit
Me.
if it's that thing? Because it's the only game of the whole entire season that we play at 2:30 or whatever the fuck time it is.
2:30.
Why does it matter who gives a shit? It's such a null and void thing.
It's a null and void thing, but it's just the principle. The principle is they want to change it so Snoop Dogg looks better. Who the fuck cares about Snoop Dogg?
But it will look better.
But why does that matter?
Because
I wouldn't even have finals entertainment.
Why not make the product look as
But
good
you know
as it can?
the NRL wants to change to daytime.
No, they do. Who says
They do
who?
everywhere.
Why?
Because they think it'll be better at daytime. They think the reason I've said everyone will enjoy it better at daytime. So how are we just so convinced that it's going to be better at nighttime? If it's not broke, don't fix it. The only thing that's broken is the pre-game entertainment that nobody cares about.
Fair enough. Maybe just change it to halftime.
Yeah, but it still just doesn't. Why are we even paying millions of dollars to fucking have some international artists
Because
come?
that's like that. So what do you want to happen?
Nothing, just normal
You
game.
get up there and start telling jokes or
Yeah,
something. Like,
I wouldn't mind it.
no, it's just like I don't know why everyone in Australia is so against like the spectacle being good. Like everyone just wants it to be no, don't get Snoop Dogg. Or don't. Like I wasn't a fucking big rap for Snoop Dogg either, but it's an international artist that comes and performs. Like why not make the day like a big day, entertaining?
Because you're making it a smaller day because you're moving it to nighttime.
Whatever.
Anyway, this is a stupid conversation.
Yeah, it's terrible. We're never going to agree on this.
Norm Smith, Jez. Are you happy with it, Will Ashcroft?
Another thing that I don't see a massive fucking hoo-ha about. Like, everyone's getting so rolled up. Not
many people are getting rolled up, but...
Well, I saw a lot of people get rolled up about it. And I saw probably the same amount of people get rolled up about it, about the Brownlow. Like, Brownlow, I understand. The Norm Smith... Will Ashcroft had, like, based off fantasy, he had the best game on the ground. So, like, I don't know what else you can say. He was impactful when it mattered. Like,
but I don't know. I just honestly think there was no clear standout.
So what did you want to do?
I'll tell you what I wanted to do, because I think if Will Ashcroft's dad never played AFL, he wouldn't have his second Norm Smith medal.
No, this is you're just lying.
He was a top 5 player on the ground. I'll give him that, but he wasn't as clear and dominant as the voting suggested. Zach Bailey was instrumental in all quarters. Bad accuracy is the reason he did not win, which is stiff. I think Zach Bailey had a more impactful game than Will Ashcroft. He just couldn't finish. Will Ashcroft scored...
Yeah, but that's why he didn't fucking win it.
Will Ashcroft scored 1 goal anyway.
Yeah, and...
So what made Will Ashcroft's game better than Bailey's? I don't know. Harris Andrews had the complete game as a fullback. He was penalised for being a key back. Charlie Cameron executed the third quarter when the game was in the balance, which was the section of the match where Brisbane actually became victorious. Did not win it because his dad never played in the AFL. And McCluggage...
This is such a bad argument.
He left his run too late. The game didn't matter. But I still think, arguably, in the grand scheme of things, he was better than Ashcroft.
32 disposals, 8 tackles, 10 clearances a match high.
All right, read McCluggage's number.
Yeah, I know, but it's all about when it happened. Like McCluggage.
So Cameron had the most impactful
McCluggage was tagged out of the game for like the first half, and then once Geelong realised they were going to lose, they just let him off the chain. Like I don't know.
My point is Bailey, Andrews, or Cameron win it any other year.
I promise you.
And this would have happened for Nick Dacus. This would have happened for Sam Darcy. I think it's just like storyline. The AFL is addicted to storyline. They're addicted to a father-son winning 2 Norm Smiths. And it's nepotism that happened, and that's why he wins it.
If Zach Bailey kicked fucking 5-3 instead of
3-4,
he kicked 3-6.
Yeah.
So if he kicked 5-4 instead of 3-6, I think he wins the fucking.
If you switch Will Ashcroft's name and Zach Bailey's name, exact same stats,
no chance.
Will Ashcroft will win it.
No,
I'm telling you that is my take on it. I think if Will Ashcroft's dad never played AFL, he wouldn't have won it. One of those 3 other players I named would have won.
If you brought it up last year, I would have said maybe it's debatable because Lachie Neale had a fucking great, if not better game than Will Ashcroft. But this year, I don't really see it. So
you think it was clear Will Ashcroft?
No, but you started your argument by saying there was no clear-cut thing.
There wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's no clear-cut thing, then Will Ashcroft having 32 10 clearances and a goal is a pretty fucking good performance on grand final.
But I still think the reason it was not clear, and I think the reason he got edged on top was because of that. And I honestly...
You can't really say that when he was almost a unanimous fucking...
Yeah, but unanimous... Like, so you even admitted it wasn't clear, but he was unanimous. How?
I said almost, he wasn't fully unanimous.
But he was 2 votes off being everyone voted for him.
Yeah.
So how is... If you even admit it wasn't clear, how did he dominate the voting that much if it's not what I said?
I really don't think the voters are going in there and saying, "Oh my god, his dad played for."
Nah, it's not that. It's just like the whole mystique of a father-son winning his second Norm Smith. It's storyline. The AFL loves a storyline. The whole AFL community loves a storyline. Like, that's how it happened. Like Dusty won his extra Norm Smith when Basher Hooley should have won it. That's what happens. Addicted to storyline, the AFL is. And that's why he wins his second Norm Smith. I'm not going to say he was undeserving, but I think he got lucky because of the storyline.
I disagree 100% completely.
Can't agree on anything today, Jess.
We're going to take a little break and then get into the rest of our grand final preview. Tired of losing on the punt?
Want to start making long-term profit while sports betting?
We have the solution for you.
And its name is Punt AI.
Join a group of Australia's top punters who specialise on sports all year round.
And gain access to their bets and in-depth analysis.
Head over to their Instagram page right now to find out more and DM them the word premium to gain access to all of their premium tips.
Let them know we sent you and use code PUNT20 at checkout to receive 20% off your first period.
Now, back to the show. All right, boys, we are back and let's unfortunately get into some betting results. We did all right in the player props that we handed out.
I got 3 or 5.
Yeah, and I think I got 3 or 5 as well.
But I multi-lost.
Yeah, I know. I hit Zorko 24 plus at $1.45, Mana anytime goal scorer $1.31, and Will Ashcroft 26 plus at $1.46.
I hit Darcy Wilmot 17 plus at $1.50. Ollie Dempsey anytime goal at $1.75, first goal scorer, handy there. And Kyle Lohmann 2 plus goals at $2.45. So that was a juicy one. Too bad for the rest of the game. All my multis were cooked because the majority of my multis had Jezza Cameron in some capacity. He breaks his arm, doesn't score a goal. I had Danger in a couple, just dog shit. Like, I'm blaming this one on you because you were hyping him up big time all week.
How about the fucking little whispers that come out after them that he was sick?
I know.
Seriously,
but another whisper that pissed me off. Josh Dunkley, who nobody knows that he's going to the game injured.
Yeah, I know, but that's... what, do they want them to announce it?
I know, I don't.
Geelong, guess what? We're taking in an injured Josh Dunkley as well.
Just someone tell me so I don't punt on him because that hurt me. And I even put fucking Jack Martin in who got voided as the sub. So it wasn't a good day for me. And to make matters worse, I was tossing up between Dempsey and Close for first goal. My mate does Dempsey. I do Close. Dempsey scores the first goal.
Stiff.
Gross day on the punt.
I also had a fucking horrific day on the punt. I put all my eggs in the Geelong basket, and obviously it didn't work out for me at all. So fucked me there. I think that's why towards halftime I said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Just try not to remember this game.
Yeah, exactly. Try not to remember it. But yeah, that'll be us for the punting section of the year. Hopefully. Listen, we had a really great year on the punt.
Well, can I just say, I was looking through some of my old podcast notes this week, and I hit 7 out of the 8 finals teams. The only team I didn't have in the 8 in my preseason predictions, you can go back to that episode from late February, was I had Adelaide 9th and Carlton 8th. If I switched those 2 teams around, I would have had the top 8 teams in the 8.
Fuck, it's a really good effort.
My top 4 teams were in order, were Geelong, Hawthorn, Brisbane and Collingwood. They were the 4 prelim final teams.
That's actually really good. I definitely didn't get close to that because I had Hawthorn out of the 8.
You had Melbourne in there.
I had Melbourne in. I had Gold Coast out as well.
You had Sydney in there.
You had Sydney in. Yeah. Maybe mine was predicting forward to next year.
But... And also, on one of my... You said this was bad for me today, but I thought it wasn't bad. My Coleman Smokey at $45 was Mitch Georgiades. He finished his top 3. I don't think many people... I don't think many people would have expected that. That's what I'm saying.
No, okay. You respect that. Yeah. But when you pick the Coleman medalist at $12...
I got to respect that. Yeah, I do have to respect that. Should we get into, Jez, Geelong? Because they obviously played in the grand final. I want to ask you the question... Is Geelong the most protected team ever?
I said this to you the other day, and I don't want to sound like one of these old SEN callers that have a sook or one of these old pundits in the AFL media that have a cry about shit. But if that was any other team, and I know everyone has their Mad Monday or whatever, but if it was any other team that came out dressing up on the Monday after you've lost the grand final like they did, and Bailey Smith's posting up the arse and fucking posting absolutely everywhere, tagging Charlie Curnow and doing all this shit and acting like an absolute tool. Yeah. if it was any other team, the media would be all over him,
on their back.
destroying him. How can you do this? You've just been embarrassed in the grand final, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But because it's Geelong, don't worry, they're always there. It doesn't matter. They're always there, but they don't fucking win it. So, like, I don't know. I feel like, and the AFL media people have actually started to crack it a little. Like, you were telling me that Gary Lyons like cracking it at the moment on SEN just because people are saying that they rim Geelong. Yeah, like the whole AFL media rims Geelong. It's just a fact. Like, we brought up the Tanner Bruin thing a couple months ago. Yeah, the first time he's seen is did you see that?
Yeah,
he's seen on grand final day. He's on the ground with Geelong after they lose. Like. But look, everything just gets swept under the carpet. They're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want.
It's unbelievable. Like, I'll put it to you like this. The fallout for Sydney last year.
Oh, my God.
After the grand final was tenfold what Geelong copped after this grand final. The fallout for Collingwood last week, who have a similar age demographic of their list, was 20-fold what Geelong copped after the grand final. Imagine Toby Green acted how Bailey Smith has acted this whole year, let alone this final series. Imagine Alistair Clarkson acted how Chris Scott has acted this final series. That controversy with the AFL official that nobody talked about.
Bailey Smith is shouting at the fucking photographer for doing her job. Like,
Chris Scott straight after the grand final sooking about this sub rule. Like, and everyone's saying it's not an excuse. Every AFL media member acts like someone just took a shit on their doorstep when anybody ever says anything bad about Geelong. I just don't get it. And they're just taken care of. And like you said, they just can do whatever they want. And they've lost the grand final this year. And it's just like, oh, okay, they'll be back next year. It's Geelong. Hawthorn play this grand final and lose it by the same margin as Geelong did. It would have been, the Hawks got rattled. Can they make it back next year? It's yet to be seen. Because it's Geelong, they'll make it back next year. Chris Scott's the best.
Like, just imagine, and I don't even want to say this play because it's going to be like Collingwood thing. Imagine Pendlebury had a grand final like Dangerfield did. It would be, he's got to retire.
He has to retire.
He's got to give it up.
I can't believe they paid him.
Pendlebury gets injured in the first quarter of the prelim final.
Like, pops his calf.
His calf. So, like, uncontrollable. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if he's too old. Will he go on next year?
Like, it's a risk to take him into games.
You got to find a different position for him. Blah,
Dangerfield went down in the last two games, in the first 5 seconds of the game.
Yeah, it's just, but it's a unwinnable battle because they're always going to remember, and that's just going to be how it is for whatever reason. That's just how it is.
And the team who probably should be rimmed, boys, is Brisbane. Jezza, will Brisbane win over or under 2.5 premierships in the next 6 years?
I feel like not enough is being made about them going back to back. Because everyone constantly talks about how it's the hardest thing to do in footy, going back to back. It's almost impossible to go back to back. You're the hunted when you won the premiership the year before. I think they might win over
2.5 premierships. So you reckon they'll win half of the next premierships in the next 6 years?
Are we counting this year though?
No.
Oh, okay. No.
For the next 6 years, will they win over or under 2.5 premierships?
Under, but just. I think they will win two more in the next 6 years.
Look, Andrews is only 28. So for those next 6 years...
Andrews is 28.
He will be a part of the next 6 years.
That's so bad.
Neil and Dunkley will probably be a part of the next at least 4 years of that next 6.
How old is Neil?
I don't know. Check. But he'll be a part of at least the next 4. I can't imagine him being older than 31, 32. Ashcroft, Wilmot, Morris, Gallup, all under 22. Adding in Oscar Allen, who's still under 25. Kitty Coleman hasn't even scratched the surface yet. And they've got another top 5 pick coming in this year. I think they win more than 3 premierships in the next 6 years. I just can't see it ending. And that's like crazy. I cannot see that ending.
It's actually fucked. Like, McCluggage is only 27. Neil's 32, which is pretty old.
Yeah, but he'll still be there for the next 4 years.
Zorko 36. So he'll probably next year's probably Zorko. Then they bring Kitty Coleman straight back in. They got Fletcher. They got Wilmot can be a midfielder. Wilmot's like 24 or something.
Not even. He's like 21.
No.
Yes.
Wilmot's 21.
I reckon he's 21. Oscar Allen's coming in. He's still young. And who knows what he could be.
Wilmot's 21.
I told you.
Oh, my God.
Like, they will win more than 2.5 premierships
I think I'm
in the
going
next
with that
6 years.
too.
And they've got a top 5 pick coming in this year. Who knows all these more academy picks and father-son picks they've got coming up.
Yeah, but I don't even want to sook about it because that's just kind of
the game's the game.
Exactly. Like,
But they will legitimately be a dynasty. And I know it's easy to say this. Everyone said this about Melbourne in 2021. But I can't see a world where they don't win 3 of the next 6 premierships.
oh yeah, there have to be a dynasty.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how
disgusting.
this goes any other way.
Yeah,
to
it's
be honest.
disgusting. Well, bouncing off that, I thought it'd be fun. The last thing we do this year, we're nearly at the end of this episode. We're nearly at the end of our 2025 podcasting season. These are my next 5 premiers in the AFL. In 2026, I have Brisbane completing the 3-peat. In 2027, I think Hawthorn will win a premiership with this group, and I think they will end Brisbane's 3-year run. In 2028, you'll hate this, Gold Coast finally break through and win a premiership. In 2029, they've done it again. I think Brisbane have another one in them. They get the 3. They have a couple years off. Then Will Ashcroft wins a Brownlow and ends up winning the 2029 flag and probably the fucking Norm Smith. And in 2030, hard to predict, a bit of a wild card here, West Coast. Harley Reid becomes a beast. They get the 2 top picks in this year's draft in 2025. Who knows what that will be in 5 years' time. I think West Coast win the 2030 premiership.
I've gone a little bit different, and I think that the teams at the top pretty much stay at the top for these next couple of years.
Big call.
In 2026, I have the one last crack at it. I've got Collingwood.
Oh, Jez.
Bit of a homer pick, but I've got Collingwood
Stephen
winning in
May.
2026. Who knows? But they just bring in all the Avengers of old cunts in the AFL and bring them all together.
Crazy.
2027, I got Brisbane winning it again. Wilmot's only 23. Yeah, that's
21. yeah, true.
at that stage. So, and Ashcroft's still young. Fletcher's still young.
Crazy.
Levi, if he gets even better than he is, like, it's ridiculous. In 2028, similarly to you, I've got the Hawks. Merritt in one of his final years as a Hawthorn player.
Finally gets that flag.
Will Day hopefully has a couple
Probably do 5 ACLs
seasons.
that year.
Then I got in 2029 Brisbane again because they're just going to be young and fucking good. And then 2030, I've got a mixture. Not a mixture, but either Hawthorn or Brisbane again.
Really? So you just think these 3
Yeah, we'll dominate-
teams that win the prelims
We'll
this year
dominate the next
every
5
year?
years. Yes.
Fair enough. Big call. That'll do us. Hopefully, we're still podcasting in 2030 when I think West Coast will win the flag and Jez thinks Hawthorn and Brisbane will still be competing for the flag. Send us off one last time for 2025, Jez.
Guys, thank you for another year of the Punters Pod. We appreciate all of you guys listening week in, week out. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you guys listening, commenting, liking, and just messaging us. Appreciate all of you guys. See you next time.
It's been a good year, boys. We'll be back next year. Bigger, better, stronger, like Brisbane will, I'm sure, with all these fucking young kids. Congratulations to Brisbane for winning the premiership. And hopefully our pies can get it done next year, Jezza. Peace, prosperity, and love.